Hi, my name is Jacinta. Everyone that knows me though calls me JC. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Caribbean, and I moved to the States when I was 18 years old to go to college. I was always fascinated by the beauty of, the beauty and the passion that people put into their work of like creating this thing that disappeared in a second, basically. And actually, that's kind of what my work is like there's a lot of thought and a lot of work that goes into taking care of the home, making a delicious meal, creating something that looks beautiful, like making a flower arrangement or decorating a cake, or laboring over like one of my current passions is croissants. So recently I took up learning how to like actually make a croissant because laminated dough is very difficult, which is part of the reason why I'm interested in pastries, because there's so much labor and love that goes into such a small thing that brings people a lot of joy, but sometimes they don't even realize that there was so much work behind that. And to learn that skill and to even have that skill is so impressive to me, because I could cut into a croissant and look inside and be like, wow, like this was done with love, or like this was done with passion and artistry and creativity. And that really is what has attracted me mostly to my work. Actually, when I was growing up, I actually, even though my parents are both supernumeraries, I never actually knew that they were supernumeraries, and I also didn't really know what Opus Dei was. And after, yeah, just growing up in a family with two supernumeraries, and my sister was a numerary by the time I reached high school. When it was my turn to go away to go to college, I went to college in Boston University, and the first thing I did actually was apply to live at Bay Ridge Residence, which was a center of the work for college students. And that was the first time I decided to go to daily mass. While going through Bay Ridge, I have always been interested in hospitality. Really, I've been most attracted to culinary. I wanted to go to culinary school and become a chef, open my own restaurant. As part of my bachelor's degree, I had to get 400-hour internships to graduate as experience. So that's what I did. That summer, I went and I got a job at one of the most known restaurants in Boston. It's called Eastern Standard Kitchen and Drinks. It's in Fenway Park. My professors had told me if I get a job here, I would meet so many different people, and I would really have my foot in the door in the industry to get a really good job after graduation if I worked really hard and made the right connections. So I went and I worked there for 5 months full time, in addition to taking summer classes. So that summer was really hard. But the few things that I did learn from that experience that really helped me open my eyes to make me think deeper about, well, what is it that God's really asking of me? I had worked like some shifts. I was standing on my feet for more than 10 hours sometimes, and eating, taking a few breaks here and there. I learned a lot professionally, and I was in awe of these people just from the superficial professional level of like, wow, these people are so successful. They really got their head on their shoulders. And this restaurant was huge. It would have at least 900 covers in one night during the summer sometimes because of all the events that were going on in Fenway Park. And I looked around at one point in time, I looked around at the people I was working with, the managers that I was looking up to, and I looked at them and I said, I don't think I'm right, because they work so hard, but they're missing something. I was also going to study abroad in Spain after I left. So I was like, okay, great, I'll go to Spain, I'll do what I want to do, what I've been wanting to do since I started college, like travel the world, meet people. I went to Spain and I traveled every weekend. I had such a terrible sleeping pattern. I would stay up till 2 a.m. and wake up at 10 a.m. and I would go to class and hardly do my homework because I'm in a study abroad program. Most people in study abroad programs, when they go to Spain, all they do is party. So that's what I did. I partied and I traveled and I met friends. I went to Paris. I went to Romania to visit my sister. I went to Belgium. I went all over Spain, and it was very funny because throughout this entire 4 months that I was in Spain, despite the fact that I was seeing some of the most beautiful cathedrals and beautiful cities in the world, and yeah, I was on my own and doing my own thing. I always had the feeling that I was still missing something, and that no matter how beautiful this place was that I was at, it wasn't home. Throughout my whole trying to grow closer to God and really search openly for what it is what He made me for. I am so grateful that throughout that whole process of that very much up and down roller coaster ride of emotions, that once I made that decision, I stuck to it because it was my own decision. Because I was the one asking and I was the one searching, and I was the one that decided to do this. So because of that, because so many people along the way have helped me think through whatever it was that was going on in my head, or suggested things because they knew who I was and what I was capable of. I never felt at all like that people expected me to be a certain way. And because of that, it has left me no doubt in why I chose the life that I chose, and the fact that I can love it with my whole self, because throughout that process, I realized that it was me making that decision, and it doesn't matter. People helped me along the way, that's for sure, but it's true, whatever you're made for, it's between you and who created you, and you and who will show you the way for you to love the most and be loved the most. And in the service industry and hospitality and taking care of home and the working administration, you do very basic things. You clean, you cook, you make beds, you make eggs for breakfast, you make coffee, that kind of thing. I set tables. In the administration at work it's very normal. It's very ordinary and nothing exciting about it. But the attitude and the passion with which you do your work is what makes it worthwhile and what fills your heart. And I think that's the thing that's most special about what I do in my vocation, is that my work is not for myself, and it pushes me to ask for that coefficient of expansion that St Josemaria always talks about, how the heart is so capable of growing if we only let it.